And welcome to another episode of Even More Mashed Up, the pop culture podcast featuring two professors talking about all things popular culture. I'm Patrick.
And I'm Allan. You got that one right.
I did.
This is a podcast that's much akin to just getting into a big soaker tub, taking a warm bubble bath. Zach's playing around with the feet a little bit. You know, this is going to be a much smoother presentation.
Yep. I'm pretty sure most people listen to this while they're in their bubble bath with like a glass of wine.
It is a sophisticated kind of show in that way. Like, sophistication kind of requires
I'm pretty sure if you go back and listen to the last several years, the first word to describe us is sophisticated.
Right.
That's right. Sophisticated conversations about pop culture. That's what we offer.
That's right. Maybe wine is often associated
Even more sophisticated up. That's what we should call it.
Oh, we should change the name.
We should.
We should have done it for April Fool's Day. Even more sophisticated up.
Yep.
Hey, speaking of innovations, I had a great merch idea.
Ooh, I love merch.
Right. So we do the Even More Mashed Up bingo cards.
Oh, okay.
Because Ed sent me a list.
Of more bingo cards?
Or
more items for the bingo cards?
Yes. White Savior.
We're gonna. No, that was in something else I read today.
Anti-colonialism.
Oh, yeah, that's been coming up a lot lately.
Western imperialism.
Well, that's a given.
Representation. Patriarchal.
Yep.
The American love of violence.
Oh, yeah.
The American love of guns.
Yep, there you go.
I can only respond to him that Americans really do love their violence.
We do.
I mean,
yes.
I feel like that's... I don't feel like that's... Now, I was kind of surprised Ed left the matriarchy off the list. So he put the patriarchy on, but not the matriarchy. So I kind of wonder what's going on there.
I'm surprised he didn't have a box on there for Americans are stupid. Because that comes up fairly often.
No, I don't remember that at all. Not on a smooth show like this.
Sophisticated.
No, You know what my favorite part about... the return of the trailer park? People thought it was dead, but it's back. The trailer park is with us.
Oh, is that your segue into telling them what the show's about? Because that was not well done.
It was, no. I didn't have a segue at all. I just want to talk about a bubble bath.
Yeah.
That's all I had.
So, yeah, today we're doing Trailer Park.
Beep, beep. It's a mishmash of truck sounds.
I'm not even sure any of those are truck sounds.
Meep, meep. Oh, that's the Roadrunner. I do withdraw the meep, meep then.
Yeah. Meep, meep.
Look, when there's the and then there's the backing up. Beep, beep. Then there's...
Okay, see, that last one is where kind of... Is that what that is? That's the gear shift?
Yeah.
Oh,
but more important than that,
yes,
better than the return of the trailer park, it's the return of the anticipometer.
Anticipometer.
Or is it the anticipometer?
It's the anticipometer. Anticipometer.
And I think it should be pometer.
No, anticipometer.
Anticipometer. Anyway, it's back because for each one of these, I'm going to ask you, because our fans demand it, to rate your level of anticipation on a scale of 0, meaning you will not see it no matter what, to a 10, you're going to see it even, nothing can stop you.
Okay, so where does I'm only going to see it because the podcast is going to make me fall? Is that like a 2?
For me, it's like a 2 to 3.
Okay.
Yes, and you will see that I have several.
I have at least one.
Fall into that category.
I have one.
So anyway, we've got 8
potential shows. Yeah, we got a lot of stuff
to talk about.
And this is we're taping this post the Star Wars Celebration that announced all the upcoming Star Wars stuff, which you don't even know about.
Right.
And there was the Ahsoka trailer. There's the Acolytes trailer.
I saw something about the Ahsoka trailer.
There's the whole...
Is that like, it's like an Ahsoka tub. Like a soaker tub.
Yeah.
Like a soaker tub.
No.
It's a soaker tub.
That's really terrible. So we're not talking about any of that.
No.
Any of the big news about Star Wars.
No. Put that wine glass down.
Yeah. This is all sort of upcoming spring summer movies, I think, is what we've got.
Right, and not Star Wars related. We can do another Star Wars one, although I assume my numbers will be very low.
Yeah, we don't have any Star Wars on here.
No, we don't. But
nope.
You know what we do have?
What?
The Secret Invasion.
It's not The Secret Invasion. It's just Secret Invasion.
Secret Invasion.
Secret Invasion.
Secret Invasion.
Yes.
Yes. So I'm assuming this is a big one for you.
Well, I mean, as listeners will well know,
yeah,
Marvel's track record as of late has been spotty at best. in
Spotty
terms of
is
in terms of kind of the Phase 4. So
it's been pretty garbage.
I am cautiously optimistic about this one.
Cautiously optimistic.
Yes. Well, because
so is that like a 5 or a 6 then?
Well, it's hard to say. I mean, Marvel has
You're
been so
gonna have to
spotty
say.
as of late.
Yeah.
But here's the thing that has me hoping beyond probably what's realist.
Let's be honest. That's going to be your theme for today.
Possibly.
We'll be hoping beyond any.
Oh, not for everything. No.
Okay.
So, considering that I think we both agree
yes.
that Winter Soldier, Captain America Winter Soldier, is one of the better MCU, if not the best MCU film.
It's certainly, and I don't want to ruin my draft order
Right.
for the MCU draft, but yeah, it's definitely top 2 or 3.
Yeah, like
I think
that's where we've
easily.
consistently
Yeah.
had it. So
like, it's a great movie.
And in a lot of ways, that's because it is sort of more of a political / espionage thriller type.
It's a genre film that actually feels kind of like genre.
So the trailer for Secret Invasion kind of feels like it has the potential to be working in that same area.
A lot of that, I agree.
And so that is kind of my hope, is that maybe
no,
Secret...
that's a detriment, isn't it?
What?
They've already done it.
But they haven't done it for a while, and you know, but here's the thing. When you're struggling, what do? You go back to your bread and butter. You go back to what you can count on. So we go back to kind of the more political, that's going to get them back on their feet.
That's why you eat like 3 mini Snickers at the end of each lunch. Don't you have, is it 3? You always bring 3 for your dessert? It's your bread and butter. Your bread and butter are the mini bars that you bring at the end.
That's just at Halloween.
Halloween.
Whatever. The number of wormholes we are about to go down that will distract us from the actual topic of the show is not less than
so I think I'm slightly less optimistic than you.
Less optimistic?
That's what I said. It's been a long week.
Yeah, it's been a long couple of hours.
Yeah, that's a fair point. So this is a Nick Fury show,
yes.
I guess. Which, are you happy to see him back?
Only in the sense that I'm hoping, again, this goes towards my whole Winter Soldier thing.
Right.
The trailer at least hints that a lot of what's going on is kind of his fault. And so there is
that's new.
So there is
that's a great twist.
There is sort of the potential for, are we using Nick Fury in Secret Invasion to sort of do some critique of the military-industrial complex? And if so, that could be perfectly good.
Yeah, I'm afraid he's just he let the Skrulls in, and that was his mistake.
Possible. Well, it seems like, and this is the part that I'm concerned on.
Oh boy.
In the comics, the Secret Invasion storyline didn't happen, until decades into Marvel,
right?
And with lots of Skrull backstory and stuff happening prior to that. Outside of the Skrulls being in Captain Marvel and then showing up at the end of Far From Home. We haven't seen much of the Skrulls.
Well,
the premise seems to be that Talos and his Skrull groups have apparently been living on Earth in secret.
Right.
And some of them seem to be not too happy with how things are going, and so there's now a more radical faction.
Right. So
that seems to be blowing things up.
That does seem to be where we're headed. Why is Fury? Why did he leave? Can you remind me? Because there's just too much to keep track of.
That's the thing. That's another thing I have actually in my notes. We never got that explained. He just shows up at the end of Far From Home on the Skrull ship. Yeah. You think he's at the beach, and then he gets up and he walks up. He says something like, "Okay, back to work, guys." We've never really gotten the explanation of why he was in space, what he's doing there. As far as we can tell, he was just taking a vacation.
But he faked his death, right, in the one movie. But then
Winter Soldier.
Then we found out he's not really dead. Yeah. So what's the tombstone for? Is that from the Winter Soldier, or did he die again?
I think it's from Winter. I'm assuming it's from Winter Soldier.
But then we all know he's still around, don't we?
Yeah. Well, I think the key is that they're going to the tombstone because that's where he's got his secret, cache of stuff that we see him getting into.
All right. It's just there's too much.
And I am concerned about there is a lot that because we haven't had much on the Skrulls and kind of
so
what they are. So I'm a little bit concerned that they're and then what Nick Fury was up to, why he left Earth, why he was there. There's a lot to explain.
To that point,
so
I'm worried.
There are those concerns. Yes.
So and he says one last fight. That was the most optimistic part for me because I assume he's done then after this one.
Yeah, it would make sense. It really seems to be emphasizing that, it's one last fight. He's past his prime. This is Nick Fury on the way out. Though, you've got him. You've got Maria Hill. We see Rhodey in it. We see.
So many. You've hit on so many parts of my notes.
What's
that I have
his face?
To keep.
I'm forgetting. Oh, I'm forgetting his name. That Freeman
Everett
plays.
Ross?
Yes, thank you, Everett Ross.
Yeah. Oh, there's lots of characters here, none of whom matter.
Well, but here's the other thing.
All third rate. Here's they're just going to stuff them in there.
But here's another reason why
Valentina's there. You love Valentina.
I didn't see Valentina. Is she in it?
I saw her listed on the credits.
Oh, okay. I didn't see that. But here's the other thing.
That'd make you excited. I know you're a big fan. Big fan.
No, but here's the other thing that has me excited. All of these people are in it.
Yeah.
But so far, no superheroes.
Well, I think James Rhodes would take offense at that.
But all we see him as being, I think he's Secretary of Defense now or something.
So he's not a superhero?
So I don't think we don't see him as War Machine. We just see him as James Rhodes. So
no, it's true. We don't see him as a superhero.
Yes.
Like that doesn't excite me at all.
I thought it would. You hate superheroes.
So you've just hit on a list of things. Can I just cover them real quickly?
Okay.
So in the comics, Secret Invasion was actually a really big event, right? Mm-hmm. Do I remember correctly that you weren't a big fan? Because to me, it's a great idea.
But
the Skrulls had been secretly
that was the issue with a lot
the...
of the Bendis kind of event comics is they're a great idea. The execution tends not to be
fair
fantastic.
enough. But like comic books love nothing more than making heroes punch heroes. They just have to come up with like creative ways to make it happen. So this is like fairly creative. I have to say, I'm pretty bummed. To me, Secret Invasion should have been the next big screen arc. Way more interesting than Kang.
Could be,
Would be to have like slowly, like we're watching these movies and we don't realize the Wasp is actually not really the Wasp.
Yeah, I mean that's because that's what they did. Is Secret Invasion revealed that characters that have been around for a long time, some characters that were believed dead, were actually still alive, or they had been Skrulls impersonating them for a very long time.
And so it just seems to me that would have been like if you're looking for a long arc of a story to tell that you can thread through different movies in ways that are clever but understated so that movies can still be standalone, but then like when you get to the big reveal, people can go back and kind of piece it all together. That's what they should have done for phase 5 or 6, whatever phase they're on.
We're in 5.
That should be phase 5. Like Kang, I think it's a big miscalculation.
Yeah,
I mean having the Skrulls would make it like as heroes would be so much better.
It does make me wonder how much of this is sort of Secret Invasion and how much of it is more kind of closer to Secret Warriors, which was kind of a title that spun out.
But they're calling it Secret Invasion, which means they've kind of spent that ammo.
They have.
Right?
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Like they can't come back and do it on the big screen. I really think they totally messed up. Like,
it also
Kang
raises
is
the
a
question,
great Disney Plus storyline. Secret Invasion ought to be.
Okay. Kang is a great storyline, period.
Never. He's just not, though.
But it also raises the question of, like, this is a Disney Plus series. Are they actually going to be able to... Are they going to do what Secret Invasion, the series and comics did, and reveal that anyone in the anyone in the earlier MCU films was actually a Skrull?
That's the problem. I think they missed an opportunity to do something really big, and they've made it small.
Now, there's another opportunity the show has that fans have been hoping for.
Does it have something to do with Sonya Fallsworth?
No.
Do I know her?
No, she has no comic book equivalent, but there are Fallsworths historically running around the Marvel comic book universe because
here we go.
In the World War II,
we don't want any wormholes.
In the World War II series of the Invaders,
right up the rabbit hole,
you have Spitfire, that was a member of the Avengers, Jacqueline Fallsworth, and the first Union Jack. Is John Fallsworth, who was one of the Howling Commandos in First Avenger.
How exciting.
Yes, I did a little bit of research.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the Fallsworth name is significant. Sonya is not a character that has a parallel in the comics. She's apparently completely new, but Fallsworth does have some significance to it.
One of my complaints about a show like this is that they have to find a way to sideline all the heroes. To me, it's weird that there's a big Skrull invasion and like no heroes are going to show up.
At this point, we kind of just have to accept that as, suspension of disbelief kind of thing. Like, at this point,
I guess
no one's going to show up for anyone else's stuff until it's the big Avengers movie.
Yeah. Which I guess is very comic booky in its own way.
That's just that's the thing. Like, Galactus is eating, downtown New York, and only the Fantastic Four are responding. Seems like that might have affected the Avengers.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
So that critique is lodged a lot, but it's at that point. At this point, I think it's kind of built in.
So here's my pitch for phase 6.
Fave 6?
My phase.
Okay.
That's what I was going to say.
Okay.
Just cut me off.
I'm sorry.
Rudely. Who would cut somebody off in the middle of a meeting?
I feel so...
jump on top of somebody?
Terrible. Yes, I feel awful.
Isn't that the worst?
You're right. Yeah, the type of people that just interrupt. They really should feel. I feel terrible about
an
myself.
Inside joke that nobody but the two of us will ever understand.
Except that you did just say meeting, which does kind of tip the hand.
There's lots of meetings. Anyway, it strikes me that the Skrulls give you a chance to focus on outer space, and it might be not a bad idea to get our heroes off planet for a while. Like some of the great X-Men stories, and I don't want the Phoenix around again.
Oh, we come out third time's a charm.
No,
Watch me pull a Phoenix out of my hat.
Yeah.
That trick again?
How's that going with Batman?
That always worked.
Yeah. So anyway, but there are stories that could be told, and I just wonder if maybe it would do them good because I feel like it's getting a little stale. Like when I watched this trailer, I thought, okay.
See, that's interesting because I would think the opposite because with the Kang saga, everything's been so cosmic.
But not
that
cosmic
I mean, all the movies. No Way Home, multiverse, Doctor Strange, multiverse.
I'm talking about just outer space without verses, though. I don't want multiverses or quantum verses. I just want the universe.
Yeah, that's still a verse, though.
It's still a simple verse, though.
We're well past a simple verse.
That's the truth. Anyway, all right.
But yeah, so I kind of would. I actually would like to see them get back to. I kind of miss and this is true in comics as well. I kind of miss the days in comics where Doc Ock was just going to rob some banks.
Yeah.
And now he's got to have some massive conspiracy to
Yeah, the comics have
do
lost
stuff,
it's all gotten too big. I've complained about that before on the show. The bigger it gets, the less human interest there is in the story. So what's your anticimeter? Because we got to keep moving here.
Well, but so the one
you have more still.
I do have
Good
one.
Lord.
So this is the other opportunity because one of the things that people are really hoping is that this is the chance for Chloe Bennett to come back as Quake/Daisy Johnson because she was a big part of Secret Invasion.
Well, it would make sense because they're only bringing in third-tier characters. Yeah. It's like they put out the bat signal for characters that aren't really important, but we pretend like they are. Yeah. I don't know. She could come back or not. I don't care. Yeah. So what is it on your anticipometer?
I'll give it a 7.
For me, it's a 4.
Okay.
A 4. I'm not really looking forward to it, but it's better than others that we looked at.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, how about Guardians 3?
Is this one of the ones that's better or not better than the things we were
talking about? For me,
it's
better.
I figured it much.
I think it's better. Now, if you want to start with the number?
Oh.
Or do you want to back into the number?
No, we can back into the number.
Okay.
We should. The number is what people are anticipating from us.
That's right.
So we don't want to,
like cliffhanger.
Exactly. We got to delay the gratification of that.
I have to admit, seeing Adam Warlock and the High Evolutionary in films don't really grab me. Neither character ever really spoke. You probably loved Adam Warlock.
No, not a big Warlock fan.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
And
that doesn't bode well.
I'm kind of worried that I have a feeling we're not going to see... Because he's a holdover from the last film. I have a feeling it's going to be... he's going to show up at the beginning of the film and have some kind of confrontation with them.
Yeah.
And then not really be
all that.
One. I mean, High Evolutionary seems like he's going to be much more important to the main plot of the series of the film.
Well, it seems like he ought to be, right? If it's all about Rocket getting back to his roots.
Yeah.
But anyway, here's what I liked about the trailer.
Okay.
In typical James Gunn
music,
Guardians, it's the music, right?
Nailed it.
He knows how to pick a song.
Give him credit for that.
And the guy dropped Cherry Bomb.
Yeah.
Into a movie, so
it's a great moment in that film too.
Big props.
Yeah. He knows, that again, like most of the James Gunn trailers, they work really well because of the soundtrack.
I think this trailer, it just makes me feel good. I hope that the Guardians get the send-off they deserve, because it's probably time to send them off.
Oh, yeah.
But I hope that it's right. So what do you think the odds are that one of them doesn't make it out alive?
Oh, I think it's a...
you think it's a guarantee?
I actually have 2 that I think are not making it out.
So you would bet the house?
I'm not sure I'd bet the house.
You'd bet your Legos?
But no.
So you're not sure then?
I would. Well, I mean, I'm
so
not.
So that was my next question. Who doesn't make it?
If I were going to, I'd put my money on Drax and Rocket.
I feel like Drax. When I was watching it, Drax felt like the most likely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like Drax and in that order, I'd say I think Drax and Rocket are
clearly the Star-Lord being carried out at the end.
Yeah.
Is a red herring meant to move you in one direction.
I think the important moment is where you see Star-Lord crying. You see some tubes and whatnot, and I think it's going to be Drax or Rocket.
It's never good to see tubes, right?
Yeah,
tubes and tears.
Yeah,
not good.
I'm not sure what you're doing there. So
I don't know either.
So here's the thing: not to harsh your enjoyment of this film.
Yeah. Okay.
So the estimated runtime.
Oh no. Is it if it's 3 hours?
It's not 3 hours.
Okay, because I'd have to reduce my score.
It's 2.5.
It's too long.
Yeah.
I just feel like it's too long.
Well, I'm just concerned because, and you have, well, you saw the Suicide Squad, but you haven't watched Peacemaker. But the most recent James Gunn efforts have had quite a bit of kind of filler and padding in them, and I'm a little bit worried that his Guardians 3, like, you know, the scene that we see in the trailer with them arguing about, you know, Gamora saying that, you know, the person you're in love with sounds more like Nebula and that whole thing. Like, I fear that's going to be another one of the jokes that runs on too long. Yeah. That was my thing about Peacemaker, is that there were a lot of jokes that were funny to start with, and then they just kept beating the dead horse.
Well, like, there's a moment in the trailer where the Gamora Star-Lord vibe is kind of funny, and then there's a moment where you're like, how much of this are we going to be subjected to?
I also feel like, you know, we went through the whole arc of Gamora and Star-Lord and Gamora changing and falling in love with Star-Lord. And then she gets killed, and then we bring back an earlier Gamora, and you're just like, the storyline's exactly the same.
When did we bring back it? So how did Gamora come back?
When they went back in time.
Because first Hawkeye pushed her over the cliff, right? And killed her.
No. Thanos pushed her over the cliff. Thanos pushed her over the cliff. But then when they went
back...
right.
Hawkeye pushed the Black Widow.
No, didn't push the Black Widow.
He pushed somebody. He pretended like he was trying to jump, but he didn't try very hard. That's what I remember about that
Rabbit
movie.
Rabbit hole. But then the earlier Gamora that was currently working with Thanos came to the present day in Endgame, and then hung around.
Okay, so that's what... Okay, yeah.
How do you not remember these things?
I don't know, because I've watched it once, and not...
You've only watched it once?
Yeah, I've never gone back to that movie. Why would I go back to that movie?
It's so good.
It's not, though.
So good.
You vastly overrate.
Oh, Endgame's so good.
The quality of that movie.
Oh, I'm so going to clean up at the draft.
Oh, you can you can have Endgame, sir.
There's part of it like,
if you give me Winter Soldier, you can have both Endgames.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure I can give you Winter Soldier.
Yeah. All right. So Zach's got to
flip
a coin.
It's really going to come down to who gets that first pick.
I'm not sure I would take Winter Soldier first, but I might take it second.
See, that's the thing. It's about the same for me. Like I go back and forth between it and something else. So
anyway, I fear that it's going to run into the problems of Guardians 2. What makes me down on Guardians 2 is it just feels like a reheated version of Guardians 1.
Yep. See, well,
if we're going to hit all the same story beats again, and we're going to have like the same kind of plot map, I'm not.
So let me
I'm less interested.
Try to set your mind at ease.
Okay.
So, number one, you obviously know that I disagree with you about the second film.
Yes, that is well known.
So, but the first film was very much centered around Quill's relationship with his mom.
Yes.
Second one, and I think this maybe is why there's some of the duplication, is it's very much about fathers.
Please tell me it's about his parents.
Ego
the third
and
one's going to be about his parents?
No, because the third one's going to be about found family / siblings.
Oh, there's definitely a family theme in it.
Yeah, that's going to be kind of the theme, which hopefully will be a little bit different.
Maybe. It's always been kind of about finding family, though.
It has, but not as explicitly.
That's fair.
So as in because I mean he's always found a family.
So this sounds like a 10 for you.
I'm not sure I'd say a 10. I'd probably go 8.
I'm saying 8.
Yeah.
I think it would be higher for me, but like 2 fooled me once.
Yeah,
I don't want
for
to
me
be like George W. Bush.
For me, it's
fool me
just
twice, shame on what I can't remember how he.
Not gonna fool me again.
Not gonna fool me again.
Yeah.
James Gunn, not gonna fool me again.
Yeah. Yeah. For me, it's more to do with just the recent James Gunn track record.
Yeah.
Is a little bit mixed.
I feel like the good news is that Marvel kind of necessarily reins him in. I think some of the like unreined.
But this is my question.
Yeah.
Like he's made this is his last thing for Marvel.
Yeah.
You know, Marvel fired him and then brought him back. I'm a little bit worried that he's not going to be as reined in.
Oh man.
On this.
What if he's working from the inside to destroy?
So I don't think he would do that, but I think it's more of I think he might have the same kind of carte blanche that he's currently had at DC.
He's not going to have an R rating, though.
Oh, God, no.
That will create at least a guardrail.
Somewhat, yeah.
Didn't exist for Suicide Squad.
Yeah, so there will be that at least. But yeah, it's yeah. So
right, so far, Secret Invasion
7.
Was it 7 for you?
Yeah.
Secret Invasion is?
Yeah.
Okay, and it was a 4 for me, so we're kind of split on that one.
This one we're both 8s.
So you think Secret Invasion is that close
In terms of my anticipation?
Yeah.
Yes.
Damn.
But you're assuming I have any ability.
Can I say that, Zach? Is that okay?
You're assuming I have. He's busy texting.
Well, he's got more important things to do.
Yeah,
There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, he's clearly preoccupied.
All right.
But again, you got to factor in that I have no ability to discern quality when it comes to superhero films.
Oh, that's well known.
Yeah, so
well known.
I'm just steering.
So you're just gunning for a 7 or an 8. If it has to do with the superhero,
if it's a superhero,
it's automatically over 5.
Oh no, I think it's a 7 minimum. If it's a superhero,
yeah, possibly. Yeah, it would depend. Depend on the superhero.
Okay. So Indiana Jones.
We'll see what happens when we get to the Flash movie.
Oh, Indiana Jones.
Yes.
What? How are you feeling about the new Indy? Old man Indy.
I'm not sure, but it can't be much worse than Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, right?
Is that the one with the refrigerator?
Yes.
Oh yeah, that's a
It's a bad one.
It's so corny in ways that I'm not sure it's meant to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I am mildly, because it's directed by James Mangold. It's about an old guy going on his last adventure.
So Mangold's doing something new, is what you're saying?
I'm saying this is going to be the Logan version of Indiana Jones.
I would think so,
PG-13.
except it doesn't look like it at all. Right? And there's nothing in the trailer that made me think old man Indy.
Really?
No. He's still riding motorcycles and punching Nazis and whipping a whip.
He looks...
He does look...
Well, it depends, because there was a second trailer that came out.
Yeah.
That it kind of emphasizes the age thing a little bit more than I think the first trailer did.
That one, maybe I watched the wrong...
Yeah. It just came out
trailer.
really...
But, to me... This seems to be a movie that hits all the beats of everything else that Indiana Jones has ever done. Do I need to watch that again?
Well, no, but it turns them on their head. Because remember, in Raiders, he faces the guy that brandishes his sword, and then he just shoots him.
Yeah.
In this film, Indy brandishes his whip, and then the whole crowd of people pull their guns on him. It's totally different.
Yeah, that's a clever kind of switcheroo that I just find completely boring.
Yeah, exactly. I had a feeling.
Completely boring. See, I have to admit, I've never been a huge Indiana Jones fan. Even as a kid, when I was supposed to love him, I liked Indiana Jones, but I was never a huge fan.
Is that because of your resentment that archaeologists are much cooler than historians?
No, it's probably that Indiana Jones is trying to pretend like he is a historian when he clearly has limits.
See, that sounds like someone.
Every archaeologist.
That sounds like a historian who
I'm
resents archaeologists trying to explain.
No, it's the other. It's the other way around.
Really?
Yeah. If Indiana Jones, I've told you this before, if he were smarter and better looking, he'd have a history PhD.
You have told me that before.
That's the problem.
Yes. You have told me that before. Yes.
Right. That is my position.
Yes. But do you have any facts to back that up?
What kind of fact could I find? I can't psychoanalyze Indy, but clearly he's a man who feels unfulfilled even in his old age.
Yeah,
you know why? He didn't get that history PhD.
You think so?
You didn't know wars and dates of wars.
All right, Zach has been listening to this show for far too long.
Oh, thank you, Zach. I will say the other thing...
stepped right on Hamilton's line there.
Yeah, that was good. Thank you for that, Zach.
You're welcome.
We're simpatico today.
Yeah.
The line in the trailer that bothers me is when Indy says, "I don't believe in magic." I'm like, excuse me.
Yeah.
You went after the Ark of the Covenant. You saw a bunch of Nazis get their faces melted.
Yeah.
You also held the Holy Grail.
That's religion, not
and
magic.
saw someone drink from the Holy Grail and literally age into a corpse in 2 seconds.
Yeah.
How do you not believe in magic?
Well, that's not magic. It's religion. That's religion.
It's a very fine distinction.
Well, for some of us.
Yes.
For others, true believers, not so much. I'm just saying.
So
I'll probably go see it. Have you haven't watched Shrinking, have you? It's on Apple.
Shrinking.
It's a series about a group of psychiatrists, and Harrison Ford is in it.
Oh, okay.
And it's actually quite delightful in it.
Yeah.
Very, very good in it.
Yeah.
So I'll go see this, but I can't say that it's as high on my anticipometer.
Yeah.
Now, this is only for Ed. But my favorite part was definitely when Helena said that stealing, as she did from Indy, as he did from the Nazis, is just capitalism.
Oh, yeah.
That's definitely...
you did see the second trailer then, because that's the second trailer.
That's definitely a marker on Ed's bingo card.
Well,
right?
that's also a marker on your bingo card.
Right, a woke attack on capitalism.
Yep. That would appeal to you.
I'm going to guess that the rest of the movie is not going to be really a sustained critique of the capitalist world order.
Hard to say.
Really?
It's hard to say.
Think that's hard.
I mean, maybe Mangold has that.
The other thing that has woke culture.
The other thing that has me concerned is that I recall a while back that they tested a few endings of the film.
Yeah.
And none of them really did well with audience. The one that did the worst was the one where they apparently killed Indy. That one, but they didn't like any of the endings of the film.
My favorite part of making a movie has got to be that you just go to a bunch of people who know nothing.
Yeah.
Oh, what do you think of this ending? Terrible.
Yeah.
How do you make art that way?
You don't make art, you make movies.
Movies are supposed to be art.
No, they're not supposed to be art.
Sure they are.
No, movies are supposed to be
Cinema
movies.
is an art form.
No, okay.
Are you saying it's not? I just watched 8.5.
8.5.
The Fellini classic.
Oh, okay.
I look how you roll your eyes.
It's getting confused with the Nick Cage one with the fake snuff film, but that was like 9.5 or something.
I love that every time I mention like a classic film, you just roll your eyes. Like,
I'm not a film historian.
Are we going to talk about Fellini or are we going to talk about Hawkeye?
Oh, we're going to talk about Hawkeye.
People, come on.
Can you imagine a Fellini Hawkeye?
I don't think you'd care for it.
I can't imagine it because I haven't seen Fellini. That's why I'm asking you.
Yeah. No, you don't want to imagine it. So what's your anticipation level
for this one?
Yeah, that's about right.
It's probably a 6.
I've got it at a 6 as well.
Yeah.
I pre-ranked all of mine. That gets us to Transformers. Rise of the Beasts.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'll lead on this one.
Okay.
This has pretty limited appeal to me.
Really?
To be honest.
Is it because Michael Bay's not doing it?
Well, I thought the Bumblebee was actually pretty good.
It's a sequel to Bumblebee.
But there's no Haley Steinfeld.
That's true.
And I think that's a big mistake, number one.
Yep. Maybe she'll have like a cameo or something.
Not good enough. Like big mistake. Bumblebee was actually a pretty good movie.
Bumblebee was a good movie.
Like as Transformers movies go.
I believe it's probably the best reviewed Transformer movies on this podcast.
Well, because we've always split on the other ones, I would say that is true.
Yeah.
Although I really liked the Bumblebee. I thought Haley Steinfeld was great.
Yep.
And she's not in the sequel.
Correct.
Huge mistake. Yeah. Mistake number one. Mistake number two, no Michael Bay.
Yeah.
If you're going to make the movie they're making, they need Michael Bay in the director's chair.
No, I don't think they do.
100% they do.
No.
Number 3, Anthony Ramos is obviously a star.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know that his involvement, what we see in the trailer, I'm not sure it makes me care in any way.
Well, here's the thing.
Okay.
Because this has been my critique of the Transformer movies in the past.
Yes.
Setting aside Bumblebee. The problem with the Michael Bay Transformer movies, besides that they're crap, is that...
They're excellent.
No.
Gold-plated crap.
No, not even that.
He knows exactly what he's doing.
Okay.
You dig down into that crap, and you find something special.
Oh, yeah.
Go.
Nobody goes to a Transformers movie wanting the plot to be about the human characters. And every single one of the Bay movies focuses too much on the human characters.
Incorrect. Everybody wants the humanity.
No.
Yes. Yeah,
people want to see the
contrast with the machines.
No, people just want to see the machines fight each other.
Michael Bay gives you plenty of that.
Right.
Are you saying he does not have enough machines and machines fighting?
No, I'm saying he's got too much human stuff distracting from the machines and machines fighting.
But is she?
Because I don't care. Because the problem is the characters are all paper thin. Is almost insulting to paper to describe them as
okay.
that.
If you're saying that Wahlberg's character is paper thin, I am not. Problem.
I'm saying he's less than paper thin. Okay. I just want to make sure that I'm clear on
the way he looks out for his daughter. Like that's a man.
You mean when the movie stops for like 20 minutes to explain why the underage relationship is totally fine? Because that was organic.
So you are saying they should not have critiqued the underage relationship?
They should not have had it.
Or are you saying they should have celebrated it?
They should have not.
I want to make sure I have your position.
They should have just not had it and not stopped.
I wonder what a teacher like Miss Grundy would say about this.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. You always go back to
another rabbit hole. Go on. So, I also think another big mistake. Mm-hmm. Transformers that look like animals just seem really dumb to me.
Are you not familiar with Beast Wars?
No.
Like that was a huge series in like the 90s or 2000s was Transformers Beast Wars.
Imagine I had a life.
Like this is what people
Imagine that I had a life.
The Maximals, the Predacons, and the Terracons. This is important stuff because you know what the Transformers movies needed?
It's not important.
More robot factions.
Well, they're dumb. Like, why would they? Maybe Zach can explain it to me.
Wait, have we
Why would you want a Transformer that looked like a gorilla that transforms into a car? Like, the car's not going to be hidden in the jungle
Even better.
at all.
Do you know what the name of the gorilla is?
No.
No. He's Optimus Primal.
Oh. So he's like the leader of the
He's the leader of he's the leader of the Maximals, which are the Autobot faction of the animal Transformers.
But
then
why
you
would
have
they
the
be
Predacons.
animals?
Then you have the Predacons because they needed to make more toys. And then you have the Predacons that are the Decepticon faction of the animals.
So you have good animals and bad animals.
And then you have the Terrorcons.
Ooh.
Which in the original series were able to turn into monsters like dragons and whatnot, and they were Decepticons as well.
Yeah.
From what I've been able to tell, they apparently turn into cars. I'm like, I don't even know why are they? Yeah.
Yeah, I have.
But Optimus Primal. Also, you know what the Rhino one's name is? Rhinox. It's Rhino with an X.
Well, anything with an X at the end is
now. To be fair,
badass.
These are their names in the original cartoon.
Right. So maybe they'll be better.
No, I'm just not. I just want to make clear that I'm not blaming Transformers: Rise of the Beasts for the terrible names of the characters.
So this might be a fun romp, but I don't think it's going to be. I have serious doubts about this movie. It is on my anticipometer.
Anticipometer.
A 3. Mm-hmm. It's a 3. I don't see this as a movie I want to see.
It's also apparently the first of 3 planned new Transformer movies.
I will go see it if the podcast requires me to go see it, as I do many pretty ordinary to bad movies. But I will not go see this otherwise, I don't think.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't have seen The Last Night, but that you insisted.
Oh, that was totally worth talking about.
Pretty sure I went and saw that.
Didn't that have Anthony Hopkins in it?
Yes, I'm pretty sure I saw that and
Oscar
the Baywatch
winner?
movie in the same day. I just want to point out that was a bad day.
That Baywatch movie gave us a lot to talk about.
It's not, yeah.
You know, you put me in charge, and that's what we do on this show.
Yes, we do.
Some
garbage.
Quality conversation.
Garbage.
I do have this running theory, though, that the Transformers movies are slowly but surely just becoming Jurassic Park.
Well, we already had the Dinobots in the last film.
Yeah, you had the Dinobots. It's becoming
it's
more and more. They're just kind of melding together.
Well, see, this is the problem, too, is that after the Beast Wars characters, I don't know that there are any other Transformers concepts to bring out, because they've already done the Dinobots.
So what's your anticipation score?
Oh.
Because we do have to keep moving.
I mean, if we defined a 2 or a 3 as I'm only going to go see this for the podcast, it's a 2 or a 3.
All right,
it's probably a 2.
So we agree on that one.
So absent the podcast, I would not be seeing this movie.
Yeah. Speaking of, Flash is next on the list. Can I say, it's almost, I feel, as if DC is trying to destroy superhero films for me in one blow. Think about everything this combines.
Yeah, I know.
That I detest.
I know.
The Flash.
Yeah.
A despicable hero.
Mm-hmm.
Time travel.
Mm-hmm.
Unnecessarily complicated.
Mm-hmm.
Multiverses that allow us to just be all about nostalgia for nostalgia's sake, right? Because as far as I can tell, the only reason to see this movie is that Michael Keaton.
Well, there's also some shots that apparently are versions of the Christian Bale Batman as well.
That makes it worse.
Yeah, I just want to make sure you're in terms of your reasons for hating this film, you've got the full panoply of reasons.
Yeah. And then there's Zod. Does anybody want Zod back?
That was
Does anybody like say if they could bring anybody back as like the big bad in a multiversal film, I'd really like Zod?
Yeah.
Terrible choice.
Yeah. I'm also a little bit confused.
Yeah, the Supergirl special effects look terrible.
Well, it's early. I'm sure they're not finished.
Okay.
Trailers always have like unfinished special effects.
Okay, fine.
So yeah, I'm a little. I do have some questions about this.
Okay, I'm totally out on this.
In terms of so does Barry going back in time change things so that there were no metahumans to fight Zod?
That's what he says.
And so he's now going to get other heroes such as the Burton Batman from the multiverse to help.
Well, he's not a metahuman, so it would make sense that he would still be around even in a world without
that's my
right?
other question. And this is where it gets really confusing.
Yeah.
Are they fighting...
It gets really confusing.
Are they fighting Zod in the world of the Burton Batman that somehow Flash created by going back in time?
Let me ask you a different question about that.
Does it matter?
Who cares? It looks so stupid. I just don't care. Like, I know the whole point of this podcast is we're supposed to get really interested in the geeky stuff and like work out what it could be. And
to be fair,
don't
only
care.
half of the podcast has that expectation with them.
Right. I so don't care about this movie.
The other thing I don't
ask a question, I'm going to be like, that's an interesting question.
Yeah, I know. The other thing that
it's not your fault.
Actually, no. I think I do have a question.
Okay.
That will interest you because there is potential for this movie to solve a mystery that has existed for a long time.
What's that mystery?
What happened to Baby Barry?
Okay. If they brought Baby Barry back, I would be so happy.
What happened to Baby Barry?
Yeah, but I have a feeling Baby Barry is very low.
So
here's
the
other. Is the TV Flash going to be involved in any way?
I don't think so. No.
Then how are we going to get to Baby Barry?
I don't know
because it's his baby.
Yeah. Well, it's not his baby. It's the baby that was in the universe that he entered and replaced. Then the baby just went away.
Right, which is okay because he got to be with his mom for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Like you can literally destroy anybody's life.
That's the other problem with this film is that
Can I just say moment of silence for Baby Barry? That was some quality like garbage television. Yeah.
So
please, thank you for bringing Baby Barry.
Thank you. See? So we're
awesome.
already back on track.
That's a gift. I appreciate that.
So,
Baby Barry.
2 more potential gifts. One's not really a gift, but one's a gift.
I have a feeling neither one is, but go.
So, the other thing that bothers me is that we're doing the Flashpoint storyline, which we've already seen on the CW Flash, to the point that there's the moment in the trailer where we see young Barry running out of the house, and, present-day Barry standing there, which we exactly saw that shot in the TV show. Like, it
looks
done.
like they're shooting it in the same house.
Yeah.
Like, it looks almost frame for frame. And why would anybody?
Yeah,
why would anybody say that's what I want it to be like?
Yeah,
I agree. Like I'm looking at the house. I'm like, that looks.
It's because it's literally
the same house, the same picket fence, the same tree in the front yard. Like everything looks the same.
Yeah. Now here's the other potentially redeeming thing.
Just real quickly, it might be good news because nobody cares about the CW show.
Right. Well, yeah. So you have long said that Barry Allen is the villain.
Oh, he in this TV series, he 100% is.
So one of the things, because obviously in the trailer we're seeing that there's the 2 Barrys running around.
You've got my face.
So one of the theories I've read, I can't remember if this was affirmed or not, but I think one of them actually becomes Reverse Flash, and thus the villain. And so you get your confirmation that Barry is the villain.
Well, I would appreciate that, but the only way to really do it right, the TV show has to make him the villain in the end. If it doesn't end with that Flash as the villain, no good.
I'll keep that in mind for the eventual Flash quiz.
Yes. Yeah. This looks like this now on the anticipometer.
Anticipometer.
I would say that I think we each say it differently every time, and yet we like really dug in.
I say it correctly, and you say it wrong.
No, but you say it differently correctly every time.
No, it's anticipometer.
But you just said something different, I think.
Anticipometer.
You just said the anticipatometer.
No, anticipometer.
Well, I know, but that's what you sometimes say.
That's what I always say. It's the anticipometer.
All right. The good news is you'll never listen to it again, and it won't matter.
Anticipometer.
So anyway, this is a hard one on the anticipometer.
Is it?
Yes.
It's pretty easy on the anticipometer.
For me, it's like a 1.
I'm surprised it's that high.
But I will almost certainly see it because I feel like we have to talk about it on the show.
We do.
Right? I have no desire to see it.
Yeah.
But I definitely will see it.
Yeah.
At best, it might aspire to be Aquaman.
Now,
like
James
funny
Gunn
in ways
has
that aren't
said
intended.
It is one of. Did he say it's the? Oh no, it's one of the best superhero films he's ever seen.
Oh no.
Yeah. Can we just say we went through a whole list of James Gunn quotes, all of which were kind of like what you have to say. I think this is more.
I'm pretty sure he's genuine here. It is the best superhero film ever.
Ever.
Yeah.
I find that very hard to believe.
A couple other questions I have about it. So clearly we see them rescuing the Supergirl.
Kara.
And a part of me is like, as far as we can... Kara, I think is how she pronounced it in the trailer. So from what you can tell, it looks like she's been imprisoned on Earth for a long time.
Yes.
So why exactly would she fight against Zod for Earth?
Right. And if she's a meta-human, why Like, is this an Earth without Superman? I guess
I
maybe
think
it's an alternate
that's,
universe where she's the one on the rocket ship.
Yes, that's my guess. Is that it's an alternate universe where instead of Clark coming, she came.
Right. Okay.
And possibly didn't land in Kansas. Might have landed somewhere else.
Well, wherever she landed, the government threw her into prison.
Yeah,
and now she's going to fight for them.
Yeah, which doesn't make a lot of sense.
No, it does not.
Which makes because there is that scene where Zod walks up and says, "We've been waiting for you," and I'm like, he better be talking to Kara. And he basically explained to Kara why she shouldn't be doing, fighting for Earth.
Right, I guess.
This is the other pitfall.
Looks like a disaster.
Because bringing back Zod,
yes,
and going back to the events of Man of Steel, is probably going to only irritate the Snyder boys.
That's a good point. Like, they're going to be upset that Zod's not treated correctly.
They're not
Other people are going to be unhappy Zod's here.
Clearly, they're not going to get the Snyderverse that they want. Because apparently, I saw on Twitter, one of them is trying to organize a boycott for the Barbie movie. Yeah. Because they won't bring back the Snyderverse. Like, the plan is don't give Warner Brothers any of our money until they bring back the Snyderverse.
So it's like a Zod-sum game. Right? Whoever feels like they're winning, the other side feels like they're losing. It cancels itself out. DC is doing what it always does.
Yeah. That's a zero-sum game.
Right.
Not a Zod-sum game.
Well, but Zod is the zero.
Is he?
I think he's a zero. Okay. I found him completely uninteresting the first time through. I had zero interest in him a second time through. Yeah. Zod's never been particularly interesting to me, I have to admit, even when I was a kid reading comic books.
Yeah.
I'm like, could we get speak past
I liked him
Zod?
in Superman 2. That was classic Zod.
Yeah.
Kneel before Zod.
They knew how to make a movie back then.
They did. That was a good film. So, yeah, no, I'm well, and then, of course, we haven't talked about it, but, there's all kind of the mess that is Ezra Miller.
Right.
That sort of diminishes.
That feels like that further diminishes.
Because it feels like this is just going to be like knowing, there's literally no pressure on this film because the entire DC universe is rebooting after it.
Right.
It almost can do whatever it wants. And so it seems like it's basically going to be kind of like the DCU's No Way Home, that it's all nostalgia.
Honestly, like, that you could do anything you want and this is what you come up with.
Yeah.
Not good. Of course, I guess when it was originally designed, it wasn't the...
Yeah.
It was, like, supposed to matter.
Yeah.
DC is a mess.
It is a mess.
They're just a mess.
But you know what's going to fix it? Creature Commandos.
I was going to say Blue Beetle.
Or, yeah, possibly.
I'm just trying to segue to the next
I know,
one. We got 15 minutes. We got 3 to do.
We got plenty of time.
How you feeling about Blue Beetle? You've made that sound a lot. And you like superhero stuff.
I do.
You're a lot of sides
well,
today.
number one, it feels, no offense, Zach, it's giving off strong Shazam vibes. It's giving off.
I wish it was giving off Shazam vibes, frankly.
I really, the costume's great, looks great.
Costume does look good.
I do like that they are kind of doing away with the whole he has to keep his secret identity from the family, and that the family knows, and they're, on the one hand, I'm like, okay, so that's something a little bit different.
Yeah.
But also I'm like, oh God, the family are going to be like throughout this film as well.
Yeah.
And they're going to play a major role in the final battle and all. I'm like, it's just going to be so...
Shazam family.
It's going to be very Shazamly.
Shazamly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it does have slight Shazam vibes, unfortunately.
Well, except it doesn't quite have the lighthearted vibe.
You don't think so?
No, I didn't feel it as much.
The other thing that bothers me is...
I love Jaime.
Yeah, Jaime is
just
great.
Like he's such a good character.
And I think the actor playing him, Zolo Mariduena, I think is how it's pronounced. He's in Cobra Kai. He's really good in Cobra Kai.
I've not watched Cobra Kai.
He is a good choice for Jaime.
So that works. Like that he's a college graduate. Like, I don't know. Like, I'd like him to be more Peter Parker-y.
Peter Parker?
Peter Parker. Oh my God. What if we did a mashup where all the heroes were sandwiches? Peter Parker.
Let's save that for an episode later.
Okay, yeah.
The other Iron Manwich.
Everybody loves a manwich. That's good. Wonder Bread Woman. It's a universe that builds itself, really, in many ways.
Oh. Well, you need your
Hulk
Justice
Smash
League.
Burger.
You need your Justice League of Heroes. We'd have like green lettuce. Okay.
Well, hero becomes a play on hero.
Exactly.
Right?
That's my point. Yes.
Yeah, that works. That works.
Yeah, it works. Yeah, the puns are strong. Yeah,
we could make this work.
The other thing that I think bothers about me too is it bothers me about it too.
What bothers about you?
Yeah, it bothers about me too.
Yeah.
is we see this, like, there's a scene where clearly he's there for the job interview,
Yeah.
and, like, his ex-girlfriend is there and gives him the scarab and runs off, which, if memory serves, is exactly how Venom gets the Venom symbiote in the film. I'm like, feels like it feels very, I don't know. It feels very like Disney Plus TV series.
It feels
and
very
kind of,
pat.
Yeah, it just kind of feels like, a very kind of by the numbers, which is probably why it's kind of giving Shazam vibes.
Ouch. Wow, just piling on Shazam.
Yeah, I mean, that was that. Just watching, I was like, it feels kind of.
It felt like Shazam, but less funny.
Yeah.
I don't know. They do say that Batman's a fascist.
That is a good line.
Which is like the point that definitely lands for me. That Susan Sarandon's doing a superhero movie could be interesting.
Could be, but
and yet, like, what did they do with Helen Mirren in Shazam?
Yeah,
not nearly enough.
Well, and the other thing too is it's clear. I mean, Susan Sarandon's not going to be like the bid. She's going to be the evil corporate entity, which means there has to be like someone else for Jaime to fight.
Which seemed to be that guy that spoke in menacing words.
Yeah, Kraven. You mean the guy looks like a lot like Kraven the Hunter?
Was that Kraven?
No, because that's a different universe.
Oh, so who is this?
I don't know. He's like the Jaime's Kraven equivalent, I think.
Yeah. Everybody needs a Kraven.
Everybody needs a Kraven. I want to be more excited about this than it is, but it feels like a very kind of like early superhero film. It feels kind of a little too like television series. It feels CW to me.
Yeah, it does. So
it's got kind of a CW feel to it.
It feels like a 5.
It's like a CW version of the Shazam movies.
Like a 5, then.
Yeah.
Like right in the middle.
Yeah.
All right, there's one on the list that's not a superhero.
Correct.
Barbie.
Yes.
So do you want to finish the superheroes and then go to Barbie?
No, we can do Barbie.
No, let's talk about Barbie.
Yeah.
For me, what really makes me anticipate this movie...
Oh, I think I know.
...is Greta Gerwig.
Oh, that's not what I was thinking.
Oh, really?
I thought it was Michael Cera.
Well, I do have him on the list, too.
Yeah.
But, like, for me, Greta Gerwig has bought a lot of goodwill lately. Lady Bird is a great movie. Little Women was actually much better than I thought it would be.
The problem is that it's a Greta Gerwig directed...
Yeah.
But it's her and Baumbach that wrote it.
Well...
And that's the white noise combo.
Well, they also did A Marriage Story, right? I think was...
Yeah.
Well, was also one maybe that they shared.
Possibly.
Yeah, which was a little overwritten. Yeah, I mean, Baumbach, I think he can make good films.
He can.
And I didn't hate White Noise as much as you did.
I didn't hate it. I just...
But for me, like, Lady Bird is one of my favorite movies.
Yeah.
Like, it's a really, really good
When did
movie.
we talk about that on the show?
Oh, we never did.
Okay.
Right? Because it's a movie I like.
You
so just assume that we...
You probably should have mentioned it. Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we talked about Frost Nixon, which is a movie you like.
It's true.
Transformers.
Oh, you love Frost Nixon.
I do not love Frost Nixon.
To beat it up, you
and
do.
Transformers.
You love beating
and
up on Michael Bay.
These were all movies you made me watch.
No, we agreed.
No.
We agreed.
No.
Anyway, Gerwig gets a bump for me. And then the guest stars, Will Ferrell, Michael Cera, Simu Liu.
Well, I mean, Michael Cera's character must speak to you.
I don't even know who his character is.
He's playing Allan.
Is he really?
And it's spelled your way.
Oh, no.
You know how they have the little bar?
Oh, my God. Michael Cera is me?
Yes.
Well, he could do worse.
You know how they have, like, I don't know if you've seen on Twitter, like, the little Barbie, like, images and stuff they've been doing?
You shared the one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, they've got like little character intros, like this Barbie is blank. Yeah, but for my lack of Photoshop skills.
Thank God. Oh.
But
crisis averted.
Yeah. Oh, until I like text Bobby and say, "Hey, Bobby."
Yeah. So I did not know he was playing Allan.
Allan.
So I'm in this.
There's
movie.
an Allan in this. Yes.
I'm not sure that's going to be good for me.
Yeah.
I do like to see Kim's Convenience represented on the big screen. I have to say the trailer didn't really fire me up. It had a couple of good gags.
Well, I think
a trailer didn't really make me want to.
I think part of it is that because it seems like the premise of the show is like Barbie is leaving her Barbie world for the real world.
Right.
Which could be interesting, but most of the trailer isn't depicting that. I think maybe the one thing where Will Ferrell shows up in the trailer is when they're out in the real world. So I'm kind of intrigued to see what they do with that idea.
I hope, because what I saw was just kind of hit and miss.
Yeah.
I liked, Ken wanting to spend the night but not knowing why.
That was funny.
That's pretty good. Or that he always has his rollerblades.
Yes.
Like there are moments that definitely work.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's well cast. Like it makes sense to me.
Now
like,
there are some people who have complained about Ryan Gosling as Ken.
Really? Why? He seems very Kenish to
There's
me.
a lot of people that feel he's too old. He does look a little more leathery than the other characters in the trailer.
Ouch!
I'm trying to come up with a nice way to say it.
Ageism much? Oh, so leathery.
Leathery was the word.
Leathery was your soft. Like, let's say I want to insult Ryan Gosling.
I don't
for
want
how
to insult
old
him.
he is.
I don't want to insult him.
I would just say he's leathery.
Yeah, there's a leatheriness
like a
to
fruit
him.
roll up, like some fruit leather.
I'm not sure that's. It's just So I'm just curious to see what you thought.
Leathery. I try not to judge people based on their age.
Okay.
So I say go for it.
Okay.
So would you say he's got a leather face?
I was just bringing up the complaints of other people, not my complaints.
No? Okay. If Leatherface were in the movie, it'd be
a very
different movie.
Yeah, Barbie versus Leatherface.
That'd be a pretty good mashup.
Yeah.
We can work on that after we do our
hero sandwiches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yes. So I don't know. For me, I've got it at a 7.
Yeah.
But Gerwig is really
carrying
some water for me to get it there.
Yeah. See, I haven't seen
Vicky and I will go see it.
Yeah. See, I haven't seen Lady Bird.
Such a good movie.
So,
I don't know if it's your kind of movie, but it's a really good movie.
Yeah. So, yeah, like I'm not really. This is one that I'll probably go see for the podcast, but it's not one that I would probably see.
All right. I've just All right. Fair enough. That leaves us with one more to go.
Yes.
Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse.
Yes.
This has 2 things going for me.
Mm-hmm.
The first one was really freaking good.
First one is up there in terms of best superhero films.
I agree.
Yeah. Period.
It's
almost as pitch. Like I can't really think of much that's wrong with that film.
I agree.
If anything, like it's a almost pitch perfect film.
I agree. To me, it and Logan would be at the
see, Logan's not quite up that high for me.
You don't like people with leather faces who are.
I like Logan, but I don't feel as much about Logan as other people do.
Fair enough. I thought you liked it quite a bit.
I liked it, but it's got the same issue as the Wolverine movie in that, in the same way that the Silver Samurai kind of comes out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Young Logan clone kind of comes out of nowhere and doesn't really.
Yeah, we don't need that.
It feels like we veer into a little bit too much of a shift from the rest of the film.
Fair enough. Secondly, and this builds on why the first one was so good for all the reasons you said, it's by far and away the best film in terms of capturing what a comic book feels and looks like.
Yeah.
To me, like the animation to me is
gorgeous.
Just
I love the animation on it.
And it feels perfect. It feels like a comic book on screen.
Yeah.
And so I think more than any superhero movie, like if you wanted a movie that felt like a comic book, that's the movie you would watch. So for those 2 reasons, I think we agree. The first one was brilliant. It won't be part of the MCU draft, right? Because it's not part of the MCU universe, but it would be probably my number 1 pick if we were picking like superhero films. No?
Well, I don't know because they make a reference to the MCU in the trailer.
Okay, well then we need to decide for the draft. To me, it doesn't feel like an MCU film.
Okay, we'll see.
Okay,
I think it fits in there though.
If it is,
then
that's definitely my number 1. Like I would pick that above Winter Soldier.
Yeah, I probably would too.
Yeah,
so that's why the number 1 pick really matters.
Well, yeah, but now all of a sudden, if I get Winter Soldier at number 2, I'm going to feel okay about myself.
Well, it depends. If you've got, it depends. It depends what you. If you got the first pick, you're not going to get.
So, quick question.
Yeah.
Are we going to do a snake draft?
Oh, I didn't even think
Or are we going to do a straight draft?
We should probably do a straight. I think the snake one is a little...
Too complicated?
Well, I think we should just do the back and forth.
Are we going to do just the 2 of us? Or are we going to let Zach pick 2?
Oh, I hadn't factored that in.
To add a complicating...
Add more chaos?
He'd pick all the Shazamly, though.
That's not MCU.
It's just to spite us. He's going to be like, I want Shazam.
I want Shazam too.
Worst first picks ever.
It's not in the universe, and it's not a good movie.
You're picking first, and you're taking Winter Soldier. We're doing a snake draft. I'm going second.
Yeah.
3rd and 4th pick is Shazam and Fury of the Gods.
So we will need to decide, though, like if are the Spider-Man like there should be a list of movies.
Can we not decide that?
If you don't want to,
well, because my plan was to not decide that and then pick one of them
and then take it.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm a little upset that he's ruined that for me because that was going to be one of my things.
I knew you were going to do it.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did.
No, you didn't.
Of course, I did.
No, you didn't.
Ever since we did the fantasy draft.
What?
You have been hell-bent on revenge. You feel like you've never achieved your revenge. You want nothing more in life but revenge at this point. That's all you do. Every show that's set up like this, you're like, how can I double down on what Allan and Bobby did to have fun years ago that you took as a personal insult, but was not a personal insult. It was two people having fun with a draft.
Yeah. You realize that's your defense for everything. It was just me having fun.
What else?
All of Dungeons and Dragons.
Well, that was fun, though.
For you.
That was fun for Danny. Bobby seemed to enjoy it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's one name you haven't mentioned.
Well, I know it wasn't fun for you, but
exactly.
I didn't realize what a stickler you were for playing a game straight.
Back to Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse.
Yes. So, are we going to let Zach in the draft?
Well, we should talk about that. Yeah,
okay. And then how are we going to determine the order?
That's a good question. I thought Zach was going to be the one determining the order between the two of us, but now if we...
There's websites. That
we'll have to use like a random...
Yeah.
We just need to think about what will make the best show.
Yeah.
All right, so now you're going to pick like X-Men, like the animated series?
No, I wasn't going to do that. No, it was literally...
I was going to do that.
No, it's just going to be Spider-Verse because I really wanted Spider-Verse.
Yeah. Oh, Spider-Verse, like whoever gets the first pick, if that's available, is going to go Spider-Verse.
Yeah, or Shazam.
But now I feel like we've given away too much of the draft. It feels like we know the first two picks, but maybe there'll be a surprise.
Yeah, we'll see.
Okay. My concern for this movie is it feels really crowded. Mm-hmm. I hope they very quickly move out of all the different Spider-Men and just focus on Spider-Gwen.
But see, here's the thing.
And maybe PETA.
This is
Parker.
just part 1 of 2.
Is it really?
Oh, yeah. They got rid of the part 1, but originally they were billing this as the first of a 2-part film.
Okay.
Which is one of my concerns, like, oh, how bloated are we getting?
That's the big one for me. Like, if it's too bloated, here's what I'm saying off the top. I am super hopeful. But if this film crashes and burns, I might quit superhero movies entirely.
I don't want it. You're not going to be allowed to do that.
I think I might just say I'm never watching other superhero
You're not
movie.
allowed to do that. That's like, we have no content.
Sure we do. We can start doing Lady Bird and Fellini movies.
Go to K-dramas.
So, I...
We never did Squid Game, which we should have.
No, we didn't. No, because someone told me after they had watched all of it that I should watch it.
I thought you had your finger on the pulse of pop culture.
When it comes to superhero films, yeah.
There's also some good K-dramas that I can recommend.
Okay.
There's the one with Jisoo from Blackpink.
Ooh.
The one that she was in.
Which one's that?
I can't remember the name of it.
Okay.
You've clearly gone beyond Patrick's level of knowledge.
Yeah.
I like when you drop a fact in as if it's going to establish you as an expert in the field, and then when Zach follows it, you're just like,
crumbles.
I literally saw it in a 150-word tweet. That's all
I saw it in something. Yeah, but she was in something. It's supposed to be pretty good.
So for me, this is a 9.
Yeah, this is up there.
I'm very highly excited. about this film.
This for me, it's a 10.
And when's the last time I talked about a superhero film in these terms?
It's been a while.
I am super excited for this film.
Yeah.
If it's disappointing, it's going to be pretty crushing to me.
Yeah, I mean, I really hope they do a good job with it. Like Spider-Verse is so good. I really don't want this to taint the legacy of Spider-Verse.
It looks great. Like the trailer looks.
I'm a little bit concerned about the way in which they're kind of making Spider-Man 2099, Miguel O'Hara, kind of the bad guy.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, the premise is pretty clear. Is that from the most recent trailer, is that clearly Miles at some moment is going to face a choice between saving his father and not saving his father. And if he saves his father, it dooms the multiverse, and so Miguel's trying to stop him from doing that. Like that seemed, based on the trailer, that's what the plot seems to be.
It does seem.
Well, then it brings up a good point of like who's the actual hero in what story.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's a good. Good point.
It's asking a good question.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think it's.
And the way in which heroes assume they're heroes,
well, and the way
but they're not.
And Miles has always been about finding his own way as a hero, and so not being told that he has to do this, he has to do that,
and that heroes are fascists, essentially.
Some of them, yeah.
Well,
but so I'm but I really want it to be good.
It better be good.
Did you like the baby?
The baby?
Mayday.
Oh yeah.
So
no,
cute.
I don't.
So cute.
No.
Yeah, he hates cute.
I know. And
Zach answered the question, didn't he?
Yeah.
So cute? No, thank you.
That's why you hate it. Yeah.
No, thank you. I don't need cute.
It's a spider baby. Come on, man.
But I did like the relationship between Miles and his mom. Like there's it felt human.
Yeah, I'm glad to see that, particularly from the most recent trailer, that they still seem to be doing a lot with Miles and his family.
Right. I think that's important.
Yeah, because we don't want to get totally lost in all of the Spider-Verse machinations. No, I did like the in the trailer when the scene goes out and he says, "Get Spider-Man," and then they all start pointing to each other. Like the Spider-Man pointing meme was really good.
It always works.
I enjoyed that.
When does that not work?
And who doesn't love the Spot as a villain?
Is he a villain though?
In the comics, he is. I don't know what he is in this one.
He could be kind of an intermediate.
Well, I think he's going to be the reason why possibly everything's kind of collapsing into itself.
Such speculation.
Yeah,
I guess we'll only know when we go to see.
But yeah, I am very of everything that we've talked about, this is the one I'm most.
I was
going to
say
about.
To sum up, like the Spider-Verse is definitely the big winner.
Yep.
It seems fair to say that Flash is at the bottom of the pile from those that we talked about.
No.
What's below it?
Transformers: Rise of the Beasts.
Well, they're about the same.
Yeah, but Transformers is definitely lower
than Flash.
Yes.
You know, you're probably right for me too because I don't care about the animals. So, but they're both losers. Like they're both.
Yeah,
like,
Flash is.
They're both bottom enders.
Yeah.
Don't waste your money, is what we're telling people.
Well, they should go see it and then listen to our show, or just listen to our show.
As long as they listen to the show, we don't care.
Yeah, that's true.
But if you want to save some money this summer, you don't need Transformers.
Yeah.
You don't need Flash.
Go see Fellini's Lady Bird.
So at the top would be like Across the Spider-Verse.
Yep.
And then maybe Guardians. Like we both seem to be somewhat
Guardians was probably there, and
anticipating of that.
Probably
and then,
Secret Invasion after that.
Yeah, but then like that was it gets to the meh area, which would be Blue Beetle, and Barbie and Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
So it doesn't look like a blockbuster summer, according to the even more mashed up forecast. Yeah, the anticipator.
It's hard to say because we may have only barely scratched the surface of summer movies.
It's true, but given what we've gotten, it's not really a.
No, but that just allows us to be pleasantly surprised.
Yeah. I suppose we can always hold out hope.
Yeah,
you are the optimist on this show.
That's what I'm known for.
Yes, your optimism. Your bright, sunshiny optimism.
That's me.
If you want to get through the day.
That's right. Little Mr. Sunshine is what they call me.
Little ray of sunlight.
Woohoo!
Sunbeam. That'd be a good nickname for you.
There you go.
Sunbeam.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Shining my light of happiness on everyone.
That's right. Well, you're a very small sunbeam.
Okay.
You only get like a little spot of carpet.
Okay.
But enough for Leia to like curl up in.
Okay, well, Leia's a decently sized dog.